Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to our elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This Aki Awasap. Today's lesson is entitled Ice. The rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. And Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and his beloved Son in the Paleo Hebrew. And as always, the sit-downs, the lessons, the street speaking. It's for the remnant, the elect, the Israel, the Most High, to you as the gospel preached. Ice. The rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. You've been seeing a lot, well, hopefully, you've been seeing a lot of videos coming out on how ICE has been pretty much stumping on the Northern Kingdom, especially out here in LA. All right. Minnesota and different places throughout Babylon the Great, which is America. And I did a video not too long ago going into how we could very well be caught up in this, you know, especially if you live amongst the Northern Kingdom. You know, you may live in an apartment building, you may work where Northern Kingdom, you may be at a Home Depot, you know, you may be at these different places where migrants be at. You know, so of course you want to keep your hand on the swivel, but understanding the times and understanding the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we see that the Lord put a spirit on Esau to come down on the Northern Kingdom. All right, so I'm going to some prophecy. I'm gonna play this video that I got here, and hey, we've been saying it. The warning's been going out how Esau is gonna take away your constitutional rights, your civil liberties. You know, you may hear about the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, the Fourth Amendment, basically protections from unlawful searches. You know, all that's being taken away. All right, with these special powers that's been given to these ICE agents. They now have the ability to run up in your house if they suspect a migrant is hiding in there, you know? So, hey, man, 2026 is turning up, man. We are in the beginning of sorrows. We in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, the time that have not been on the face of the earth. And you got suckers and cats, you know, that's paid off. All right, they done took the bag and they giving a false sense of security. And I'm talking about the nigga that's from the Black Panther little movement. If you can't see that nigga is an actor, that he's playing a role, that he's following the script, then you sheep for the slaughter, man. A part of this knowledge, a part of this wisdom, a part of this understanding is we supposed to discern who serveth the Most High and who serveth him not. You're supposed to be able to discern things. So I'm gonna start here in Isaiah 10, which a little history. You had the Northern Kingdom. They got taken down by the Assyrians. All right, and they was brought into Nineveh. All right, they was exiled into Nineveh. All right, they was different areas in that region. You know, you read about Tobit. I believe Tobit was in Media. You know, you read about Jonah. He went and prophesied in Nineveh. That's where the Northern Kingdom had went after they had gotten taken out of the northern Israel. All right. And you had Isaiah the prophet, a Judite so-called Negro. He was a advisor of King Hezekiah. He was a righteous king. of the Southern Kingdom, and the Northern Kingdom was getting stumped on. And they was getting stumped on because of their idols. They was worshiping idols. None of the Northern Kingdom kings was righteous except Jehu for a little bit, and then he had gotten wicked. So in here in Isaiah 10 and 5, it says, "O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation," which we run parallels with this. And we say through the spirit that the modern Assyrian is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man who's in a position of power ruling the earth in wickedness. He's the modern Assyrian. And he's blessed with the sword. And he's set up to take peace from the earth, man. He's doing the bidding of the Lord on the left-hand side. So the rod, all right, the weapon, whether it's the physical weapon, whether it's laws, legislation, certain policies, all right, that was given unto him from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. "O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation." When you see the Northern Kingdom getting rolled on, that's judgment, okay? Because we don't just have Southern Kingdom. When I say the Southern Kingdom, I'm talking about the Negro tribes. You know, that's in the truth. You got the Hispanic tribe, the Mexicans, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, Seminole Indians, Dominicans. You got different Latin tribes, different South American and Central American and Mexican. That's in the truth, bro. That have repented and converted and worship the true power out here in LA, GMS LA. It's a lot of Northern Kingdom. You know, so you may see your family, you may hear your family getting stumped on. You may live in a community where it's a continual presence of these agents. Shit, it may be people in your neighborhood saying, "Look, we finna stand up and fight." Don't get involved in that. Let the judgment fall on the wicked. You know what I'm saying? "O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge." So ultimately, these ICE agents is led through the spirit to come against and come and find these different migrants, bro. You know? See, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual through the pulling down the strongholds. We don't got a physical fight in this. Our fight is spiritual, being out there on the highways and the byways, prophesying, teaching, and preaching, calling on the names of the Lord, so we can get a hedge of protection during this time of evil, Jacob's trouble, the said perils. You understand? So understanding how the Lord worked, understanding the judgment, the Lord is sending these people to where these Northern Kingdoms are. Even Haitians, certain migrants of the Southern Kingdom, they getting visited as well. It says to take the spoil and take the prey and to tread them down like the mire in the streets. All right. "Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither does his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy, to cut off nations, not a few." These agents, Esau, you got Northern Kingdom a part of it, Southern Kingdom a part of these agents, but they got a demon on them to destroy. Now let's go ahead and go to this video.
That is because the Constitution has long been interpreted to mean that federal, state, and local officials cannot enter private property without that judicial warrant. But with this memo signed in May of 2025, but just disclosed yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security is essentially arguing that...
Look, it says, a memorandum dated May 12, 2025. The May 12th memo, Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons authorized ICE agents to forcibly enter into certain people's homes. That's vague. That's a broad stroke. Certain people's. that can be used against regular citizens without a judicial warrant, consent, or an emergency. They're gonna be running into people's homes. Full immunity. All right. I don't even gotta play the whole video, but the video is entitled "Trump's Administration Memo Allows ICE to Enter Homes Without Judicial Warrant in Some Cases." All right. They're gonna be using that to their full, benefit. And I thought about this over here. Let me get this in King James, right? Bible Online. Because we in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We've been in heavy in 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16. Let's pull this, because it speaks about they're going to be invading one another. And I ain't got a lot of space on this phone, man, so just want to get straight to the point. Because what Esau wants is people to react so he can get full justification to really roll how he want to roll. Because he want to do away with his constitutional rights, or want to do away with civil liberties. He want a new order, right? 2nd Esdras 15:14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction coming, man. Ain't no way you can put this off. Ain't no way you can avoid this. Babylon the Great is getting visited. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you seeing this sellout nigga, this Black Panther leader. All right, they out there in Minnesota with swords in their hands, weapons. All right. And it's going to lead to civil unrest, man. Once one of those ICE agents get hit, especially with them having the justification to go into someone's home if they suspect a migrant is in the inside, and somebody, they run into the house, and the person that's in the house, perceive that they being invaded, and they shoot, and one of those ICE agents get put down, it's going to crack off. It's gonna crack off, and it's gonna crack off all throughout these states, especially in these major cities: Los Angeles, Sacramento, Vegas, Arizona. Especially these areas where it's a lot of migrant, where it's heavily populated with migrants. So it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." ICE is a sword. "And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." All right, going into houses. "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Now, we normally use this as Americans rising up, Egyptian against Egyptian. But who's to say these ICE agents, one of them get put down, and, their leaders ain't handling it the way they think that they should handle it. Shit, they may go crazy. We got to see. "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Checkpoints, lockdowns. They already pulling people over, asking for their identification, whether you're an American citizen or not. "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." Hey, even, you got to look out for the famine. These resources becoming limited. All right. So I just want to sound an alarm on that. I have seen this video, about the Trump administration memo allows ICE to enter homes without judicial warrant in some cases. All right, these ICE agents are seeing this stuff, man, and they got $170 billion given to them to run their operation. So they heavily equipped. They got lawyers. They got all type of judicial backing. All right, so hey, man, it's going to intensify. Lord willing, you edify. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, and hey, our fight is to continue to endure. Matthew the 24th chapter, he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. We got to endure this, meaning these prophecies that come to pass, we could be caught up in it, you know, but we got to endure and put our trust and faith in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, and he going to rise up on the prey. Shalom, Akim.